you've tried to get VA in the past. What is it like
Yeah.
to finally get that accomplished?
There was uh, there was conversations for the last whatever month. We weren't sure who we were dealing with. Brendan Mahoney was kind of taking the lead on this. Did a great job. What we tried to do was just kind of figure out what our plan would be, our voice, where we felt a fair offer would be. And then we had to kind of let the dominoes fall over there in BC. We had to, who are we dealing with? How many teams would be interested? We feel very confident we got a good deal. We're excited for the player. Um, we have a good room. We have good players, but Vernon brings a little different dynamic. Excited to work with him. I've known him since 2014. I went down to spend a little bit of like what we call professional develop at Eastern Washington. Got to know Bo Baldwin down there, who was the head coach, and Vernon was the starting quarterback. And I felt like he would be a great player up here back then. And he's taken some time and opportunity. It doesn't always come right away, but I felt like he's really shown who he is as a player last few years. And for us, that was big. We're going to try to change what we do a little bit offensively, a different dynamic. Guys that maybe run a little bit more and are, can make plays with their feet, not necessarily just scheme. And we also want to make sure that we find some energy and a guy that people gravitate towards, a great leader. No disrespect to anyone else that's been here, and I want to make that clear because I really believe it. Some of the issues we had certainly didn't involve with it around the quarterback room, but we feel we've got a winner and a guy we really wanted.
When it comes to numbers, I heard, is that something that was maybe a roadblock or trying to consider in terms of his pay? Because there are rumblings that
Salary?
yeah, salary wise.
Uh, Listen, when you get good players, you got to pay for them. And there are some things. Obviously, when another organization negotiates a contract, maybe you got the chance now. He's our property. We can make it work for our team. He's a guy that's very, I believe, is flexible. I think Vernon wants to get paid like all of us do. I believe he's a team first guy that understands is there ways that we can structure things for the betterment of the team. And I have 1,000% faith he's willing to listen. Let's get him here first, though. Let's get him here and see what we're about. And the money is, like everyone plays to get paid, but in the CFL, you really play for championships. You coach for championships. That's what we're all trying to do. He's going to be that guy leading us.
And can you go into detail more, Dave, on just how that skill set will change the on-field product here in Calgary?
Yeah, I mean, we got to do lots of change. We went into the offseason saying things that we've been doing, we've got to improve on. We've got to improve all areas of our team. We want our fans also to feel like maybe a different look and a different feel and a different vibe. And we thought Vernon would help us there, but that's just one piece. I can't put pressure all on him. But she's a piece. We've got to make some change, and we've done that. Obviously, had to change some things across the board in our organization, and now here's a piece of the puzzle when it comes to personnel.
You signed PJ Walker before too, so suddenly you've got a lot of depth at big league that have played some big games in both leagues here.
I called PJ myself this morning just to make sure that he wasn't caught off guard or anything like that. PJ knew we were looking to sign a veteran guy. We were going to sign somebody that had CFL experience, that has played. I do have a lot of faith and confidence that PJ also will be a heck of a quarterback in our league, but he's never thrown one pass in our league. So I think it's fair to bring in a lot of good players, surround these quarterbacks with good players, good coaches, good system. When one of Jake's real big strengths was he never got hurt. Most teams play with two quarterbacks. Most teams have to win games with multiple quarterbacks. So I will say that PJ is a guy that never shies away from competition. He's got a great resume. I mean, he's got a better resume than most quarterbacks in our league. And he wants to be part of the Calgary Stampeders, wants to be part of our team. And we expect our quarterback room to be real strong.
Does Vernon Adams' skill set provide perhaps a bit of a tweak required from the offensive side?
Yeah, but he's closer to PJ than not. I mean, Vernon's a different player. Like, he can run. He's slippery. He throws the ball down the field with great accuracy. He's a smaller guy. That's probably his only knock, is he's a smaller guy, and it's a tough game. So I know I never could hold up for 18, and so we just feel like we need a great room, and I think we need to, as a staff, talk and changes. We got to be realistic about things. We can't just do things the old way all the time. We've got to figure out who our team is. We've got to try to take advantage of what they're good at, and morph and try to let these guys be in the best position possible to succeed. So our quarterback room, I think, like you said, similar people might help us. We can hopefully come up with concepts that both guys do really well at.
Can a guy like Vernon attract other players to come here to Calgary?
Well, he has a reputation of obviously being a good recruiter, a guy that people want to play with. I think we got to be careful not to get ahead of ourselves. That's kind of our job first. And to be honest, most people play, they want to get paid. I do think they want to go to a place that can win. They do respect people, though, that the leadership style. And I just been, every person I've talked to today that's worked with Vernon is really impressed with who he is as a man and as a leader and what he stands for and how he holds himself. And those are things, obviously, that carry a lot of weight in our room.
What part of you is most excited about this, coach, GM, or former quarterback?
I mean, it's a good day. Today's a good day. I mean, like I said, I woke up this morning and I felt we were going to get something done. I had some other activities and some events with some great people to support our community in Calgary, and I'm excited to do that. But also, when I get VA as part of our community now, I think you guys are going to be impressed, and he's going to help our city and he's going to help our team. So I did want to work with him for a long time now. Just liked what he's about, like what he's done. He's just one piece, though. We need to keep rolling. We need to keep making changes, and we keep bringing in good football players. And we need a positive vibe going into 2025, and ultimately, we think we got that.
Yeah, what can fans expect from him?
Well, I think I'm hopefully he can sneak in next week. I mean, it's just Thanksgiving right now, so we'll be allow him to have his family time. We'd like to think he could pop up maybe next week sometime. We're still trying to figure it out. I honestly, the fans want good football, winning football. They do. Flash is good. It's about winning, though. And I've really said, even myself, I just think you're judged on wins and losses. So exciting football when you lose isn't good enough. We need to win. And that's what our message is we need to turn the table and start winning.
Is it safe to say, Dave, this is a little bit of a shift in philosophy? It doesn't seem like this franchise, is particularly active usually in free agency or makes these types of home run trades. Is this a little bit of a shift in how you operate, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, we're always looking. I mean, it's not like we don't want to try to make it we've in the past, had maybe the next guy up mantra, meaning we had a guy in-house we felt could be a really good football player, and we didn't necessarily feel like we didn't have good players, but it was time to try to go after a guy that we think can make a major difference. And we did the same with PJ Walker. I mean, Brendan got that deal done as well with Toronto. We just felt we needed a different quarterback, a different style, and it doesn't mean it's going to always translate into wins, but we think we can do that, and we do think that room has gotten better, and I do feel like quarterback-driven league, if you can have quality guys first and foremost, guys that are accountable, that are leaders, that stand up for what we believe in and do the right things, I think the wins will come.
Dave, just going back to the trade and that process, I mean, I imagine there was a couple other suitors. Did you have to sweeten the deal by adding additional picks, or how did that all kind of come through?
Like I said, Brendan took the lead on it and did a great job. So we had a plan. We kind of felt like we'd go in pretty strong, knowing we'd have to move. And that's kind of what happened, but we held our guns. We do have the first overall pick, and certainly that was something that was coveted. Who we were competing against, I don't know. I know Vernon's a really good player, so I would expect other teams inquired. I was a little worried about being in the West, and Brendan, just hammered out the best deal we thought we could find, held our guns, got it done, and I guess time will tell how history looks at the trade, but right now we feel very positive about it.
You and Jay came out, said you guys needed to come out swinging on exit meetings. Do you feel like this is a start of what you want to do?
Yes, I think it's an important step. I think it was a step that we had other options, but this is our best option. And, we're going to keep swinging though. We are, and we're going to see what we can bring in, and just it's coaches too. It's scouting. It's everything we're looking at for our team. We're going to look at everything, and we're going to try to be the best we can, and really see if this can turn the tables and get us on the right track. Because it's 2 years to lose, and it's wearing on all of us. We're super excited. I'm super excited to just get to work and go, especially with these type of people that we're bringing in, and understanding. I do feel like there is some momentum. It's a long way away. I get it, but for us, a great day, and certainly something that we would hope for, and it came to fruition.
You may have answered this, but who initiated the contact? You call them or they call you?
Well, we've been in contact. Our year ended in October. You didn't know exactly how far BC would go in the playoffs. I think everyone knew there was going to be a guy available. At what cost? And then you start doing your research. Like I said, Mark, the hardest thing with BC was we weren't sure exactly who we were dealing with. Obviously they made a change, and so we weren't sure how that was going to go and how ownership certainly was going to get involved. They made a big push for Grey Cup. Kind of threw all their chips in there. I think they needed some return. They needed some picks back, and like I said, we decided what we thought was a good, fair deal, and stuck to our guns.
You talked about Bo before. Like, how much of a positive is it that Vernon played for him before?
Yeah. Well, Bo's down in Phoenix. It's crazy. So I talked to Vernon today, and he's literally on a flight to go to Phoenix. Now, it wasn't to go see Bo, but I told him, why don't you bring your golf clubs, because Bo will work him over on the course. They have a great relationship, and I think it's a pause. I know Bo's excited. Pat Delmonico excited, because it's just, for us a little bit different maybe than what we've had. We've had more of a pocket guy, a guy that can make all the throws, but maybe not a guy that's moving around and making the plays on the run. And really, if you look back a while now, I mean, you got to go way, way back to Henry. And we've had some great quarterbacks in that time. So we do think, there'll be some things that we can do that maybe we haven't been able to do as an offense. Didn't necessarily, Bo's not here just to recruit Vernon, but I thought it was a feather in our cap. Certainly something I think Vernon was hoping that he would show up in the 403 area code here and work with all of us. There's prior relationships, there's trust, things that should be positives for us.
So Dave, beyond Vernon now, like, how do you sort of make the Stampeders like a destination place that's attractive to free agents now? What's the next step?
Yeah, I still think our city sells itself. I think we have a great city. People come where they're fairly paid and they can win. I do think we treat our guys excellent. I think for the guys that are here, to me, honestly, we treat them with respect. We give them what they need. We understand we have some limitations in certain areas, but we don't make excuses. We show up ready to work, and like I said, people want to be in organizations that win, and that's why it was easier in the past few years to keep our guys. We went south on that, so it's our job to turn the tide and get back to winning and try and do find ways, obviously, to keep our players, and then find new talent as well.